Zulu, Zulu, Maschliegen Leigen, Huven Haven, De Steven Haven Paventuven. Does it sound like I'm speaking gibberish? Well, I am. And gibberish speak is something that we are getting a lot of these days, wouldn't you say? But putting all that aside, it's time to come back to thinking caps on. It's been a little while, and well, I've missed recording these, but I've been busy with getting the new studio set up. So let's dig in, let's have some fun, and let's talk about some gibberish language. So, this story comes straight out of the Bible, well, as do all of them, really. This story is actually a little bit of fun. You know that expression, the writing's on the wall? Well, it may have a bit of a biblical origin, at least from what I understand anyway. The story has to do with the fall of Babylon according to what is written in the Bible. Now, stay with me because whether you were a Bible studier? Who says that? Whether you studied the Bible or not, this story is going to sound absolutely batshit crazy, and well, that's because it is. So, to set the scene, the Israelites have been in captivity now for 70 years, and according to the divine plan, it is time for them to be liberated by the Medes and the Persians, or something to that effect. And this has all been foretold, so it's basically preordained to happen, according to the biblical narrative anyway. To set the scene, you have the then king of Babylon, Belshazzar, and he's decided to have a party. Unfortunately, social distancing is not a thing, so he's got all of his friends over, and they're drinking it up and having a lot of fun. And not only are they drinking it up, but they are using the utensils from the Temple of Jehovah. Ooh, the sacred utensils, the really special chosen ones. I just have to ask the question, if they're that sacred, why did Jehovah allow them to be taken anyway? Let's stay with the story. So they're having a party, and they're getting like royally shit-faced, and they're feeling great. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this floating disembodied hand appears, and it starts writing some stuff on the wall. And nobody can understand exactly what it is. And for that matter, I mean, nowhere in the Bible is it mentioned.
Dude, there's a fucking hand writing shit on the wall, and there's no body attached to it. What is in this drink? What is this cup lined with?
Anyway, are we sure that they weren't smoking something? I'm getting ahead of myself here. I gotta stop doing that. They're looking at this, and nobody can understand exactly like what it says. Apparently, it's in some sort of special language. So they have to summon Daniel, who by this point in time is an old man. And Daniel has been in Babylon for a long ass time. He is a long trusted or long used member of the royal court or something. And people seem to remember that he has given some awesome advice and prophecies to past kings, like, I don't know, some of his fevered dream interpretations. So this is the person that they're going to have to interpret the writing on the wall. You get some people that like, oi, Danny boy, the king is calling. Danny boy. No, I'm not going to start singing for you. You don't want that. But Daniel is like, okay, well, yeah, I'll go and read the writing and everything. And when he goes to read the writing, he says, the words are meanie, meanie, teakle, and parson. Which, I mean, before we get to the interpretation part, meanie, meanie, teakle, parson. Is this basically like the hand calling Belshazzar a big meanie? And he needs to have more parsnip in his meal or something? I don't know. But Daniel gives this interpretation that basically boils down to this.
You suck as a king, y'all be fucked, you're gonna die tonight.
At least that's what he tells the king anyway. Like, your days are numbered and something or other, and that's why it's repeated. I don't really care to be 100% accurate because this story is absolutely insane. And the king, because he wanted somebody to interpret, he's like, I'll give a great prize to whomever can do it. Well, why then didn't anybody just, fake it and be like,
Well, King, it says live long and prosper.
no, it's got to fall to Daniel, the special chosen one from Jehovah, to go and interpret this writing for him and to tell him what it means. Are we quite certain that the writing maybe didn't just say something like, stay home, it saves lives? There's a really bad army outside, you might want to lock the door. In that very night, Babylon is overthrown, and Belshazzar, King B. Hey, there's his name. King B is destroyed. He's killed, and the Israelites, now they have somebody new to serve, and yeah, they all lived happily ever after. The end. Not. This story, I mean, it's so ridiculous. Let's break this down just a little bit, okay? So first of all, let's talk about those sacred utensils. So, like, they were plundered from Jerusalem when it was overthrown in 607. Oh wait, no, not 607, 587. Right, plundered from Jerusalem, and then kept in like the treasury and so on. And the king is like, hey, that makes a really nice looking cup. I'll drink out of that. Well, again, if it's so sacred and if it's so special, I mean, why would Jehovah have allowed it to be taken if this was at all true? If Jehovah is supposed to be this all-powerful God who can rescue people from being burned alive in a fire or whatever else, again, why would this sacred utensil be so hard to save? Then there's also the matter of the hand writing on the wall. Is Jehovah once again showboating here?
Look what I can do! Oh, it's this big bad hand! Ah! Like,
Come on. Thirdly, the whole bit with like the words and so on. Even if this is supposed to be like Hebrew or whatever else, are you telling me that in 70 years of captivity, none of the king's men and women and advisors bothered to learn the Hebrew language? And finally, what was the whole point of, having to make it so that Daniel was the only one that could possibly do this? Was this supposed to be the idea that Jehovah is showing like who is the super superior God? Like, look, only my people can do it because they're the special and chosen ones. Doesn't it sound a little bit like this might be biased, considering that the book of Daniel is supposedly written by that Daniel? No, he could have just been making this up to jazz himself up, could he? Considering that he is the only Jewish slave that is supposedly present during this party, he could say anything. Much like a lot of people can say anything they want on YouTube and Facebook and whatever else, and then claim that they've decoded something or other.
hello. I would give you my real name, but I don't want to be exposed. But I work high up inside of insert government name here, and I know the secrets about what's really going on. I am going to spill everything, and they can't stop me. Nobody can stop me from spilling out the truth. The truth of the matter is, white is black and black is white. It's true. You've all been exposed to this virus that has purely changed your mind. What is really white is actually black. And what's black is white. Down is up is down. It's so crazy. Wake up. Do your research.
Do you see the similarities? But a person with a really well-oiled thinking cap on is going to stop and look at a story like this and just think, like, who says that you have access to this crazy secret knowledge? Apparently claims like this have been going back for centuries, according to what the Bible claims. And if you take this story at face value, then once again you have Jehovah wanting to showboat and show off. And not only that, but on the other side of the Babylonian wall, you have, General Cyrus or Cyrus the Great or whatever, whom supposedly was foretold like a full century or more in advance that this is how you're going to overthrow Babylon. This is going to be your battle plans, and like was even named, like named. This is the person that's going to do it. So if that's the case, then let's ask the question again: does Jehovah actually like really give people free will, or does he, it just look into his, her, its crystal ball and be like, yep, that's what's going to happen, and I'll just pretend that I didn't know? Like, yeah. These are things that continually, well, make you go, sounds like bullshit to me. But that's just me, and that's just my thinking. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think really happened? Catch you next time.